Hi, it's Hollow Aster, and we are back with another part of Wrath of the Righteous. We are finished with the Through the Ashes DLC. I feel like that took us forever, but it was fun. It was harder than I anticipated, which that's honestly on me because Pathfinder is just hard in general. Um, and it was much more of like a strategic combat type DLC than like a story one, but it was a lot of fun. We left off on kind of a cliffhanger for it, which hopefully we will solve. I think that continues when we get to the Lord of Nothing DLC. I'm not sure at what point in the main story we're like supposed to do it. But we'll get to there at some point. But for now, we are back with level 2 on Fable, our tiefling bard. We've got Seelah, the paladin of Iomade. We've got Camellia, the spirit hunter, and we've got Lan, our archer. So, yeah, last time we were in this part, we broke into the shield maze to try and rescue the mongrels that had gone, like, to try and get to the surface and been missing. We fought and killed Hosilla right here, and Wenduog, we had like a confrontation with her, and she left. So now we've already talked to everyone, so now let me check our inventory again. I think I already sold everything last time, so I think we're good to go ahead and leave to the surface.
Always watch your back.
Oops, except I do need to grab everybody. So we are going to go ahead and go upstairs. Oh, and we can grab all the loot we missed. We'll do that. That's another really nice thing about Wrath.
While the survivors wander the dungeons, the battle on the surface rages on. The warriors of Canabris are trying to defend the wardstone, but their strength is flagging. Their resistance is valiant, yet it will all be in vain if no one rises up to turn the tide.
So this chapter is called The Wardstone Legacy. Alright. So, and we've got Horgus Worm with us. If you remember, we found him in the mongrel camp, and we agreed to take him to the surface. Anevia said, looks like we're in the basement of the Great Garrison. Seelah said, I can hear the sounds of battle from above, out of the pan and into the fire. So, let's go. Looks like we're all doing pretty okay. Alright. So, over here, if you watched, like up until this point and you've seen it Through the Ashes DLC, you'll know that this is Irabeth. She is sort of in charge at the Defender's Heart. So Irabeth, the half-orc before you, wearing armor adorned with Iomede's golden swords, is clearly exhausted. She obviously hasn't gotten much sleep over the last few days. There's soot on her face and fresh blood on her sword. Her hazel eyes are hard and focused, and her firm voice sounds accustomed to giving orders. She sizes you up, surprised, judging whether you are friend or foe, and opens her mouth to ask you something, but freezes when she spots Anevia. Your Honor, they're gay. Oh, look at the hug. So cute.
By the goddess, Nevi, I'd almost lost all hope.
Everything's fine, Beth. I'm here.
Anevia strokes Irabeth's head and whispers something in her ear, then stands
This
back
here
and
is a
points
new
at you.
friend. She rounded up those of us who survived the fall and led us up to the surface. Without her, we'd never have made it out. Let me introduce you to my wife, Irabeth Tirabade, head of the Eagle Watch.
Until the army arrives, I'm the temporary warden of Canabris. And you're just in time. As you can see, we're in the middle of a battle. And thank you for getting Anevia out of there.
We saved the gays in June. It's a Pride Month miracle. So we can say, where are we?
The Grey Garrison. Until recently, it served as barracks for the Crusaders, but it's now been taken over by cultists.
So, what is the target of this battle?
When the demons attacked the city, their main target was the wardstone. I trust I don't have to explain to you what the wardstone is and how important it is to the Crusaders.
Well,
We must retake it at any cost, or the fall of Canabris will be the beginning of the end of the Crusades, and with them, the rest of the world.
so the wardstone, wardstones are a chain of powerful artifacts that keep the world wound's expansion at bay. The first and greatest in the chain was erected in the city of Canabris by the hand of the inheritor himself, a golden-winged angel sent by the goddess Iomade. So yeah, the inheritor is Iomade. So the hand of the inheritor, the hand of Iomade. So the wardstones are basically just really giant like rocks that are magic that are preventing the world wound, so the wound in the world that leads directly into the abyss. It's preventing that from spreading because it is spreading in other places. That's why it's gotten so bad. It started as just like a tear and now it's like really, really big and like stretches quite far.
I see that you had a difficult journey to the surface. You need to rest. But there's a lot riding on this battle. I have no right to command you, but I'm asking you to help us.
So, we've got a lot of dialogue here. I think we can pretty much go through all of it. So we'll say, I have important information about the location of a cultist den.
Very good. Report to me in full when we get back to the Defender's Heart. It's our temporary headquarters. Right now, the most dangerous cultists are here. The ones occupying the Grey Garrison.
We'll say, we met some mongrels who live beneath Canabris. This is land.
Most people in Canabris think that the children of the First Crusaders are simply a legend. Other people say that the day you emerge on the surface heralds the start of the end of the world. I'm not superstitious, but the situation is apocalyptic, all right. Having a living legend on our side can't hurt.
Facts. Okay.
Come on, living legend? A walking folktale, maybe? I just need to make sure I don't turn into a running joke.
So we can say, what's the situation in the city?
The city's gone. Most of the defenders, including the Dragon Terendelev, fell in the first few hours. The civilians either fled or died in the chaos. The place is overrun with cultists and demons.
Don't talk like that. Canabris hasn't fallen.
Well,
Not
it's
while
certainly
it
not
still has
doing good,
defenders like you
Seelah.
and me.
Sweet words don't change the grim truth.
No, she's right. Thank you, Knight. Until we no longer have the strength to hold a weapon, until Iomade abandons us, we will fight for Canabris.
Paladins of Iomade are so dramatic. Okay. We'll say, tell me about the wardstone, why is it so important, but I kind of already explained that.
The wardstones are a gift of Iomade. Created personally by her herald, a mighty angel, and a general of the celestial armies. The wardstones keep the world wound from expanding. They stand along the border of the territory controlled by the demons, creating a barrier to keep them inside. The Canabris obelisk was the first to be placed. It is the key to the whole barrier. We cannot leave it in the hands of those monsters from the abyss.
And then we'll say, how did the wardstone end up in the Great Garrison?
The demons have long laid siege to Canabris, but this time, their lord Dascari appeared in the flesh. He ripped the wardstone from the ground and hurled it halfway across the city to here. I thought the stone was destroyed, but it seems all is not lost, yet. Dascari has gone, but the wardstone is surrounded by a horde of those creatures. What are they going to do to it? Nothing good, that's for certain.
Definitely.
But how did he do that? He's a demon. The wardstone should have burned his filthy hide.
Well, he's also a demon lord, which is a little bit different than just a demon. He's like a demigod.
It should have. But what happened, happened. We don't know why.
So now we can say, let's not waste any time to battle.
That's the spirit. You, take anevia to the rear. The rest of you with me.
You hear labored breathing interspersed with disgruntled muttering. Horgus is holding his rapier hilt in a white-knuckled grip. A bead of sweat trickles down from his temple.
Lord Horgus Gwyrm, forgive me. I did not realize we had civilians among us. My people will escort you somewhere safe. To the extent that anywhere in Canobris can be said to be safe right now.
Yeah, that's fair. Get him out of here. And Anevia too, she's hurt.
That's right. Fighting spirit is the one thing that we've got plenty of.
With a crooked smile, he plucks his
Actual
bowstring.
fighting power, that's not so great. Fighting know-how, even worse. But fighting spirit, at least we're rich in that.
For Ioma Day! For the Queen!
Whoa.
Kill the beast!
Irabeth raises her blade, and the soldiers, inspired by her cry, rush into battle with renewed vigor. Shh. We go in here? I don't remember. Yeah, I didn't think so. What do you have on you? Oh, demon plague. Lovely.
Save the last one for me.
Auto end turn enabled. This option allows the game to end the turn automatically when you... no. Okay. Anyways. It's fine. I was gonna say I was gonna have Seelah take care of him anyways. Ooh, we're encumbered. Let's get rid of these and these. They don't sell for that much anyways.
I hope you appreciate this.
Check this room. Grab some loot. And then we will continue up the stairs with them.
I'll watch your back.
Hey, I know you. So, you're one of these cultists? How's it going, pal? You want to join? Your lot will all be dead soon, but we'll be alive. Sure. I can't. Come on, leave these losers. The Crusades are over. Soon the demons will rule the whole world. Not homie getting peer pressured. Here goes nothing. All hail Baphomet. Cowardly traitor. I swear on the sword of Ioma Day you will answer for your crimes.
We are the light. They are the darkness.
You are today's sacrifice!
Make every strike count.
The light take you.
Hey, there we go. Okay. Collect all that. I think that's everything from over here. Come grab this stuff. And then I'll get rid of some of the heavy armor. Okay. There we go. That's the one we dropped. Let's do a little save. to battle. Let's take Canabras back. I don't think I can open any of these doors. Are you encumbered still a little? Yeah. £50. Okay. Oops, not that. Okay. Let's quick save. We're gonna leave that. That's no good. Hello?
What's this? Do we have guests? Just in time. The place is a bit of a mess, and I haven't even poured the blood into the goblets yet. Why don't you... Oh!
The face of this demoness could be called pretty if it had eyes. Her mouth slowly widens into a smug grin.
What an unexpected surprise! Staunton, my little sweetheart. Long time no see. I've missed you so much. Have you missed me? Admit it. You missed me terribly.
The demon's mouth drops open in surprise, and she brings her manicured hand up to cover it.
Minagho. You again, you wench!
The aged dwarf from Irabeth's troop, silent up until now, spits on the floor. His hardened, craggy face, like storm-weathered stone, twists as if it was in pain.
Minagho, the one who... Be careful. She's one of the deadliest creatures in the whole demon horde. She was once responsible for a massacre in Canabras. She must be back to finish what she started.
So, it says the half-orc is too well-bred to spit on the floor, but her name sounds like a slur on her tongue. So Minagho, the powerful Lilitu Minagho, is one of the demons whose names in Mendev are always spoken with a curse. She's the author of two of the most horrific atrocities in history of the Crusades, the Fall of Dresden and the Red Morning Massacre of Canabras. So we'll say, Staunton, how do you know this, or do you know this demon?
Does he know me? Staunton, darling. Tell them all how close we were.
That wench? She's the one who led me astray. She's the reason my life has gone to the abyss. She's the reason why Dresden fell.
The dwarf's voice rasps like rusted metal.
Oh my, like butter wouldn't melt. What I remember is how eagerly you would run to our trysts, how you begged to see me again, how you promised you'd do anything I asked. By your own free will, you said this. And now you claim that Dresden fell because of me. No, my dear. That was entirely your own doing.
Dang.
I'll beat your lying lips into your filthy throat!
Now, Staunton, don't say things like that. Not about these lips, the ones you kissed so sweetly. Staunton, dearest, don't you love me anymore? Remember how good we were together? I was so hoping that we could patch things up.
I'll kill you!
They will break against our resolve.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
She'll be fine. She'll get up.
Endure this!
Okay,
What's on your mind?
there we go.
I wonder.
Gotta come loot them. I need you guys to stop picking up the heaviest armor, though. Okay, that's fine. Save again. So there's a mobility check. Let's not make the same mistake again. Okay. Now we'll heal. Try this lore religion.
Not this time.
Nope. No one's got that.
We will win this war.
Try seelah. Nope.
Stay on your toes.
Fable. Nope. Land. Nope. Good to know nobody knows what's going on. As soon as you step into the chamber, your vision seems to darken and your knees buckle. You struggle to keep your balance. The air in here is laden with the power coming from the stone. Suddenly, your head is filled with voices, screaming, whispering, crackling, threatening voices, pleading for help, shrieking curses and taunts. You blink and the illusion passes.
Congratulations. You made it all the way here. This is it. Your precious wardstone. But what are you planning to do now, I could kill you where you stand, but wouldn't it be nice if you could die in battle like heroes? No. I want you to die in despair, scrabbling around like rats in the blighted ruins of your city, blind and broken, your flesh scabbed and seeping, and every moment knowing precisely what was done to you.
Bam.
Sounds terrifying. Except that's how we've been living for generations.
There isn't a soul that can resist the temptations of the abyss.
That's not true.
Even a stone can be turned. I'm not joking. Your precious wardstone, weakened from the injury inflicted by Discari, has almost succumbed to my charms. Soon the whole barrier around the world wound, the gift of your useless goddess, will be a weapon of the abyss. Just a little more and boom. Every city with one of these eyesores stuck in the middle of it, from Canabras to Nerosian, will turn into smoking craters, and all the mortals into red sludge beneath our hooves.
Minagho, I need you to get a grip.
So you have a choice. Especially you, my pet. Kiss me on my dainty hoof. Pledge your loyalty to Baphomet. And when the world falls, its ruins shall be yours.
The demon blows Staunton a kiss and then holds out her leg, which ends in a cloven hoof instead of a foot. We can say, "Who are you? What are you doing to the stone? Shut your filthy mouth, scum," or we can just attack. We'll just say, "Who are you?"
You've already forgotten me. You mortals have awfully short memories, even shorter than your little lives. Staunton, sweetums, don't you want to introduce me to your friends properly? No? Well, I'd better do it myself. I am Minagho, Lily-2 and faithful servant of Baphomet, and leader of his armies. The city is mine now. I'm just starting to settle in, get things just how I like them. But once I'm finished, I promise you, the results will be simply to die for.
And it was such a charming little place until you sullied it with your presence. It had such lovely boulevards, quiet and shaded. You took those away from me. And I shan't forgive you for that.
Oh no, you shan't forgive her for that, Camellia?
They've done much worse things than spoil the promenades. All the people they've killed.
Yes, of course, you're right. I grieve for the common folk as well.
You feel righteous fury swell within you. How dare this demon besmirch the ground of this beautiful world with her hooves, a world created by the gods and cultivated by mortals. And these cultists, how dare they betray all that is sacred in the world and join forces with the foulest of evils? Can they repent and redeem themselves, or have they followed the path of evil past the point of no return? The wardstone seems to sense your thought. The chamber grows slightly brighter. So, we can say, what are you doing to the stone? Shut your filthy mouth, scum. Attack her. Or we can do the good, requires angel mythic path, reveal the light of heaven. Your victory celebrations are a little premature, demon. So we kind of already know what she's doing to the stone. She's corrupting it. Shut your filthy mouth, scum. She's gonna be like, okay. So we're gonna do this one. Echoing the holy flame erupting from your hands, the light also gets brighter and brighter until it floods the chamber. You hear the voices again, stronger now. They repeat your words like a choir of angels.
Hey, no eyes! Didn't you tell us that heaven had turned its back on us and no one would come to our aid?
The demon giggles, but you hear a note of astonishment in her laughter. A man standing behind among the cultists turns to her. So we can say, don't listen to her. The fiend wants us to lose all hope. She won't succeed, or we can attack. But we're going to say this one.
I'm done with this shit! I only followed this hoofed menace because I thought the Crusaders had it, and there was no other way to protect my family. But now I see that there is hope. I won't bow before these heinous idols ever again. If they kill me, at least I'll die a decent death.
The cultists glance at each other, hesitating. At last, the man who was first to speak up against Minagho rips Baphomet's unholy symbol from his chest and casts it to the floor.
Yes! Return to our side, friends! Have courage! We will welcome you back, and heaven never abandoned you, no matter what this deceiver told you.
Turncoat, I'll cut out your heart.
A tattoo-covered cultist reaches for his weapon.
We'll see how tough you really are. We let you frighten us once, but it won't happen again.
An elf with a face deformed by acid burns throws her unholy symbol at him.
Time to rob them of their treasures.
Alright, so we're gonna fight Minagho now. Let's take a little peek at her. So she's only level 17 outsider, level 11 witch. No big deal for our level 2 asses. I'm sure nothing will go wrong and everything will be fine. She has 395 hit points. Her AC is only 36, a low 36. She's got DR 10. She's immune to poison, death, ability score, damage, drain, electricity. She can't be petrified. Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. What are her saves? 1,000,000? Oh yeah, her will save's only a small 25. I'm sure it's fine. So we'll smite evil Minagho, and we'll charge her. Yeah, Seelah needs a 19 to hit after smiting. I'm sure it'll be fine. We'll have Camellia come over here. We're gonna trusty inspire courage again. Lan can attack this turn, I guess. So we'll have him move. Whoa.
Don't worry about me.
Yeah, we'll have Camellia come up here to attack this cultist since she could reach him, and then I should add her swift action first, but it's fine. She'll have it for next time. She hit either way. Fable. We'll do sleep on this one. Oh, that's okay. Oh, it got multiple of them. I think they both succeeded, but still. For some reason, I was like, it's only one. Land. Have him shoot that guy. Okay, good job, Land. Longbows are ridiculously overpowered. Oops.
Go for their hearts!
Have Fable come over here. Attack that guy. Seelah's still okay. Is Irabeth? I think we'll have to see. I don't know if we need to redo it or not. I think they're fine.
Cover me!
You won't survive me.
But if they're not fine, we will redo it. I don't remember.
This is my chance to rise!
Yeah, okay, they got back
I'm
up.
tired of playing around now. You want to know what will happen when I'm done with the wardstone? Here's a little demonstration.
Irritation seeps into Minagho's voice. The demoness whispers a spell and a wave of darkness sweeps through the chamber. Your companions wince in pain, but it's nothing compared to what you feel. Thousands of voices once again burst into your mind, drowning you in their moans, screams, and sobs. Pain rocks through your skull. So we can say your evil spells won't stop a righteous army. You'll pay for this, demon scum. You won't break us, we'll never give up. So we're gonna say the good one.
Iomade is with us!
Yes, yes. Keep telling yourself that.
The roar of voices blends into an unbearable wall of screaming. Your vision goes dark.
Praise Iomade, you woke up. Healing your wounds was easy, but you were unconscious for so long I was starting to worry we'd lost you.
I'm gonna say, what happened?
We couldn't stand up to the demoness. Her spells were too strong. It's all right. We'll handle it somehow. You blacked out, but Staunton and I managed to get you here to the Defender's Heart. It used to be a tavern, but now it's our headquarters. We're gathering our forces here, and we're preparing to strike back.
Okay, so now I think we're just gonna update her with like the stuff that we learned earlier. So I found a cultist dispatch in the dungeon. It seems they're holed up in the Tower of Estrad.
Demons have been filling Canabras with their spies and infiltrators for a long time. Unfortunately, I don't have enough people to attack the place right now. At least not blindly. I'd be grateful if you snuck in there and scouted out the situation. But just scouting. Don't be a hero.
So what's the situation in the city?
Bad.
Still terrible.
But not hopeless. We're constantly getting news, and new sources of resistance keep springing up in the districts where everyone seemed to be dead. The survivors are gathering here. You should see them. Their faces, their eyes burning with determination. The city is destroyed, but our resistance is not broken. We will keep fighting.
What do you plan to do next?
You heard what the demon said. They're going to desecrate the wardstone and blow up the whole barrier around the World Wound. That would be an even worse disaster than the World Wound's expansion before the Second Crusade. Not only Canabras, but every city with a wardstone will be destroyed, including the capital. We can't allow that no matter what. We will retake it, even destroy it if we must. Iomade's gift must not become a weapon of the abyss.
So we're not going to say tell me about the wardstone because we already did. We are going to say, can I help you in any way?
First of all, we need to decide what to do with the stone once we get it. What I'm about to say is classified. A traveler came to the city recently. A blind elf calling himself the Storyteller. He insisted he be allowed to examine the wardstone, and he raised the alarm when his study was finished. Even before the demon attack, he had found some damage or flaw in the stone. Prelate Hulrune dismissed his words as nonsense, borderline blasphemy.
He's so annoying.
But between you and me, the prelate's opinion isn't worth much. I think the Storyteller knew what he was talking about. We could use his advice right now, if only we knew where he was. I remember the Storyteller spent a lot of time talking to Staunton, a dwarf from my unit. You saw him during the demon attack. The elf asked him about the history of the Crusades. Maybe the storyteller told Staunton something about where we could find him if anything happened. There's another problem. After the attack, the demons began to gather their forces at the Grey Garrison. It'll be even harder to take them with a head-on assault. But I once heard soldiers talking about a secret entrance to the garrison. Trouble is, I have no idea where to look for it. While you explore the city, please keep your eyes open, in case you find something we can use.
Half-orc smiles at you encouragingly.
And one last thing. The Eagle Watch has lost a lot of soldiers recently. Some were killed, but others simply haven't been seen since the attack. In the chaos that is now Canabris, it's next to impossible to confirm anything for sure. One of the missing fighters is Janna Aldori, a new recruit in the Watch. She got along well with Seelah, and she often went drinking with her. I honestly thought Seelah and Janna had died together. But now Seelah's returned with you, and there's no sign of Janna. If you learn anything of her whereabouts when you're out in the city, please report back.
Alright, so we'll say everything's clear.
May the goddess help you. We're still fighting, which means that Canabris still hasn't fallen. If you come across any groups in the city that can fight, send them here to the Defender's Heart. We'll need every fighter we can muster for the final assault. Yes, one more thing. If you're in the area, check out this address. It's our house. Mine and Anevia's.
Oh.
Well, it was our house.
Dang.
If the building is still standing, open the hidden compartment in the kitchen. It's filled with supplies for a rainy day. You can take whatever you find. You have more need of it.
Thanks, irabeth. Alright. So, we have a personal chest now. Thank God. So we can put a bunch of stuff in there that we don't like need to be carrying around all the time. Oh, oops. Anevia. Hey, wait. Mind if I bend your ear about something? Anevia's outside your door, leaning casually against a shelf. So here's the first and most important thing. Beth gave you a crucial mission, and I get that, and I know you'll get the job done. I saw you in action. But here's the rub. By sending you out on an errand, we're weakening our defenses here. If they come at us while you're gone, I don't know if we'll be able to fight them off. So, when do you think the demons will attack next? Your guess is as good as mine. It might not be here. They could attack the whole damn city. Those vermin know that they've lost the upper hand and that we're going to push back hard. If things kick off here, you should know, after they attack, some things could change beyond recognition. So if you've got any business that needs to be taken care of, you've better do it soon. Do you want me to stay here and guard the tavern? What? No, your task is far too important. You can't just hole up here all cozy-like, waiting for the demons to come knock on your door. We need you to take the fight to them. But if those freaks try to make a move on this place, Beth will send a runner and get you. If that happens, you leg it back here, alright? Because if you don't, you'll be coming back to a pile of ash. Got it? Everything seems clear so far. What else do you wish to discuss? So the rift behind that... the rift that damned Beetle left with its scythe? Yeah, well, it cut the city in two. It's kind of difficult to get across. My scouts tell me there's a halfway decent place to set up a crossing in Market Square. Not that any of them tried to make it sure. But once you've got a mind to go across, I think you're gonna have to eventually. You might want to give the square a once over. Thanks for the warning, I'll see you later. Later, watch out for yourself. So basically, what Anevia was saying is we've got all of these little tasks that need doing in, well, I can't show you here, in the city overall. Once we get to the outside map, I'll be able to show you. And we only have a certain amount of days to do all of those things before we need to come back here. If you don't come back here soon enough, they will start attacking and you will be kind of out of luck. So, we've got Staunton over there. Let's talk to some people and then we'll wrap this part up. So Staunton, the dwarf resembles an abandoned citadel, one whose high, crumbling walls are still holding fast, but whose empty, lightless windows make it clear that all inside are dead. Oh, it's you, good Burke back there in the Grey Garrison. Named Staunton Vaughn, if you've heard rumors about me. His face, which looks like it has never known anything as carefree as a smile, grimaces. Just so you know, everything people say about me, it's true. What do people say about you? They say I'm a traitor, that I'm as bad as a Rilu Vorlesh, that I'm a disgrace even among the race of the condemned. The ranks of the condemned, that Queen Galfrey should never have spared me, that I belong on the gallows. So Arilu, I think I mentioned her in the last part. She's the one who, she was initially immortal. She became a half-demon, and she actually opened the world wound in the first place. The condemned are a unit made up of criminals. And then the queen's the queen. I'll say, why do they hate you so much? You really don't know? Staunton gives you a long, morose look, then sighs. I'm the reason why the Crusade forces are holed up in a fortress on the edge of the world wound instead of bringing the fight to the demons. We used to have a foothold in the wound, the mighty, unassailable city of Dresden. We used to have it until it fell, all because of my stupidity. I gave the enemy our main citadel. I was tired. They wanted to execute me, and rightly so. I was tried. But the queen intervened. She said that I could live and fight in order to undo what I had done. So that's how I live, decade after decade, fighting in the condemned. He shrugs. As you can see, I have fixed nothing. I have earned no one's forgiveness. Are you going to spit in my face too? It wouldn't surprise me. So we can do good. I hope you earn your forgiveness. Lawful. You keep living and fighting with no hope of anything better because that's what the queen ordered you. There is honor in that. Chaotic. You were given the chance to live, so live and stop blaming others for what you've made of your life. We can do something evil and spit in his face, or we can say it's not my place to judge. We're just gonna be good and say I hope you earn your forgiveness. Thank you. From the depths of my soul, I thank you. But I haven't had hope for a long, long time. A whole city fell because of you? How is that possible? What do you mean, how? The knight glares at you from beneath his furrowed brows. If you don't trust the word of a condemned, go ask somebody else, like my brother Joran. If you still don't believe me, what's it to me? But if you're to ask me about the recount story of my disgrace for the 1000th time, don't. I'll say. You don't have any friends? I couldn't have survived this long if I were completely alone. Joran, my little brother, he keeps me going. He's never abandoned me. Everyone else shies away from me like they might catch what I've got. Even fighters in the condemned console themselves by thinking, I've got stripped of my ranks, but at least I'm not Staunton. Commander Tirabade seems to be the only person in the army who remembers that I'm a soldier and not a drudge. She has no qualms about taking me to battle. She's had some mud flung at her in the past, or so I hear. That's why she tries to keep an open mind about people. It's no surprise that I'm the one, that she's the only one to hold her sense of reason in this farce. So many years in the condemned, surely you've paid your penance by now? That's not up to me to decide. My life is in the Queen's hands. He falls silent for a moment, and then in a trembling voice he adds, the condemned isn't the worst part. All these years I've prayed to Torag for forgiveness. Countless times I've gone to priests. Countless times I've kneeled before his altar. If only the father of dwarven kind would answer my prayers just once. Not to restore what I've lost, but to just tell me that I am still one of his children. But it seems he doesn't give a damn about me. What can I expect from mere mortals when my own god doesn't think I deserve redemption? So Torag is known as the father of creation, is a stoic and serious dwarven god in the forge, protection and strategy who values honor, planning, and well-made steel. He is an often distant deity, lending magical power to his clerics, but leaving his followers to make their own way through life, knowing that it will make them strong and determined. So now we'll say, I need to talk to the elf who calls himself the Storyteller. Do you know where I can find him? The Storyteller? Staunton strokes his beard in thought. A strange old fellow, that one. He used to sit with me for hours, asking all sorts of things. He never offered judgment or comfort, he just listened. At first, I wanted him and his questions as far away from me as possible, but later I realized that talking to him did ease my burden a little. I hope that he is alive and well. He's completely blind, and feeble too, so if he's alone in the city, well, you probably know what that means. I do know one place he might be. Look for him in the Blackwing. It's a library. Here. I'll show you where it is on the map. I don't know what use a library is to a blind elf, but he loved that place. He would be there day and night. Alright, go then. May we see each other again. So, we've got to visit the Blackwing Library to talk to the Storyteller. Who else do we need to talk to in here? Do we know this guy? No. Where are our... There's Seelah, so we'll talk to Seelah. Seelah smiles at you warmly. Hey there. During that march through the dungeons, we never got the chance to exchange a proper greeting. It's high time I shake your hand. So we'll say, I'd like to know more about you. Of course, ask anything, I'll answer honestly. Tell me about yourself. Where are you from? I'm a little bit from Geb, a little bit from Katapesh, but mostly from the Knights of Iomedae. I was accepted and began my training at 14. I belong to their ranks more than I belong to any other place. You've come to Mendev by a long road then, haven't you? A very long one. She looks at you cheerfully. A traveler is expected to have amusing stories. Unfortunately, I have only 3 tales of any interest, and I'd like to save them for our next feast. Otherwise, I won't have anything to show for myself when it's time to start bragging, and that just won't do. Especially since I'll win the night with my cautionary tale of a battle with, chupacabras. I'll say, you can't tempt me with a story about fighting chupacabras and then not follow through. What are chupacabras, by the way? Incredibly repulsive magical beasts, fast and dangerous. They can... Well, it looks like someone's fooled me into starting a tale. I guess now I'll have to tell the whole story. Picture a small town in Kadira, I think? I don't know. And down in the dungeon there's 2 murderers waiting to be executed. The gallows are built for them, the rope's been brought, but sometimes life takes a surprising turn. Suddenly, a paladin of Iomade appears in the doorway and offers the murderer a deal. If they go with her to fight monsters, they'll live. If they survive, that is. There's a big difference between imminent death and probable death with a glimmer of hope, wouldn't you say? So here we are, traveling through the desert, me and my friend, a priestess of Sarenrae, along with the little rat folk fellow who'd asked for our help, and the 2 cutthroats. We get to the rat folk village and see their bodies lying around, drained dry. We knew we'd have to fight vampires. That's how the little rat folk described the monsters who attacked their village. That's why we went in all brazen-like. The sun was high, the vampires couldn't attack till dusk, but we never got the chance to look around. Black shadows, quick as wind, attacked us from all sides. Not vampires, but chupacabras. One of the lads we pulled from the gallows got killed right away. The second one ran for his life. That left me, the rat folk, and, it's either Kira or Kyra, but spelled differently than my name. That was the name of the priestess, and we all steeled ourselves for the fight of our lives. Just when we thought the end had come, when the chupacabras surrounding me like a pack of dogs around a bear, our rat folk friend wounded and down, and the teeth of the quickest of those blasted monsters clenched on Kira's shoulder. Right then, we had lost all hope. Other than the lad from the gallows suddenly comes running back. He kills the beast attacking her. I'm sure you know what a turning point in a fight looks like. Well, this was it. A moment before, we were lost, and a moment later, we had it back under control. The chupacabras dropped dead, one by one. The little rat folk reunited with its family, who were hiding in the basement. The priestess and I closed the eyes of the boy from the gallows who saved us. It was a shame he didn't survive the fight. May the gods keep his soul in its journey through the afterlife. So we'll say, that's a good story. He could have died in disgrace on the gallows, but instead he died a hero. And I'd fancy the stunt earned him some points at his final judgment. It'd be smart to remember our journey doesn't end at death. Had it not been for that mercy, Milos, that was his name, would be hanging from some noose, and me, Kira, and the rat folk would all be dead in that village. Someone told me that a kind deed done by an unkind person is 100 times more precious. By the same token, an evil done by a noble soul is 100 times more horrifying. That's what I really wanted to say. The chupacabras were just a good starting point. So what made you become a paladin of Iomade? Seelah's gaze sharpens momentarily, then she sighs. That's a serious question and a good one. You should ask it of your companions. But long story. To start, 12 years ago, I was nothing like the person I am now. I roamed the streets of Solku with the other homeless orphans. I stole, I fought, I was hired sword for a bit. Not the proper origin for a paladin, is it? Back then, Solku was the city of orphans, widows, and widowers. Gnolls decimated the city regularly. My parents were among their victims. People had heard the news of deaths before they'd finished mourning their previous losses. One day, a group of knights of Iomade brought a glimmer of hope to the city, but while others saw them as saviors and protectors, I was busy pricing up their noble horses and gleaming mithril armor, wondering just how much one of their pretty swords would fetch. A thief lives one day at a time, that's what they say. I was the type that never thought past the next job. Anyhow, I was able to sneak into the knights' camp and steal one of their mithril helms. Seelah pauses, her voice sad and measured. And I was right when the gnolls I was right there when the gnoll attacked the helm's owner. Akemi was her name, and dealt a blow to her unprotected head. A gnoll like those others she'd fearlessly driven from the gates of Solku. That one final blow was fatal, but who was really to blame for her death? The gnoll attacker or the young thief named Seelah? We'll say, I know what it takes to survive sometimes, I can't judge you. Lawful, even seemingly small misdeed can have terrible consequences. Chaotic. Life is cruel and full of chaos. Sometimes survival just comes down to luck, or you couldn't have known the consequences of your own actions. We're gonna go for the chaotic one since she does follow Desna. So that's how you see it. Seelah looks at you with curiosity but no hostility. I can't accept that point of view. It's the story of my youth taught me anything. It's that we're all accountable for our actions. It's too easy to wave off responsibility if you use the cruelty of life as an excuse. But you were asking what brought me into the ranks of Iomade's warriors. We all chose the paladin's path for our own reasons, some guided by the nobility of spirit, some a desire to fight injustice. I became who I am through a penance and a debt unpaid. The day Akemi died, protecting my city, I wanted to kill myself for the terrible guilt that I felt. But then I realized I wouldn't make the world any better. I decided that instead I'd try to take her place. I'd become who she had been, to protect the innocents, and that she would no longer be able to protect. What are the principles that paladins of Iomedae follow? Seelah smiles. I'll tell you, I'd like to recite our code. I feel like I've said it 1,000 times, but it never gets old. There is strength in these words. After a pause, she begins, her voice slow and meditative. I will learn the weight of my sword. Without my heart to guide it, it is worthless. My strength is not my sword, but in my heart. If I lose my sword, I have lost a tool. If I betray my heart, I have died. I will have faith in the inheritor. I will channel her strength through my body. I will shine in her legion. I will not tarnish her glory through base actions. I am the first into battle and the last to leave it. I will not be taken prisoner by my free will. I will not surrender those under my command. I will never abandon a companion, though I will honor sacrifice freely given. I will guard the honor of my fellows, both thought and deed. I will have faith in them. When in doubt, I may force enemies to surrender, but I am responsible for their lives. I will never refuse a challenge from an equal. I will give my honor to worthy enemies and contempt to the rest. I will suffer death before dishonor. I will be temperate in my actions and moderate in my behavior. I will strive to emulate Iomedae's perfection. Thank you. I hope I didn't bore you. Ask me anything else you'd like to know. Let's see. We'll probably just finish talking to Seelah and then talk to Camellia and Lan next time. So, Irabeth said your friend Gianna Aldori is missing. Do you know where we should look for her? Irabeth is worried about her fighters. I understand that. I wanted to look for Janna myself, so I didn't distract you, but since you're in this too, I could use some help. Janna and I met in Canabris a few days ago and just hit it off. We went drinking together. We went on that unforgettable celebration together too, but we got separated in the crowd. So we should start looking from the main square. That's where I last saw her. Seelah frowns. Gianna's a good fighter, even if she's green. She couldn't have become an Aldori otherwise. I hope that means she's alright. What do you think of what's going on in Canabris? It's complete chaos. It's lucky that we're here to handle it, right? She smiles brightly, then gives you a worried look. Does the way I talk bother you? I know I can seem blasé. Many good people, and our protector Durendalev died here in Canabris. As a paladin of Iomedae is expected to be properly respectful and solemn, but I prefer to face my troubles with a smile and a bit of common sense. Grief is a weapon that they'll use against you. It can undermine a warrior's spirit. It's better to hold off on grief until we've driven the last demon and cultist from the city. So we can do chaotic. If we want to win, we can't be mourning our deceased day and night. Plus, joy heals the soul. Lawful, there's wisdom in the tradition of mourning. And one shouldn't reject them. All the more if inappropriate merriment could offend other mourners. Many people's loved ones perished in Canabris. Or, I'm not bothered by how you talk. What matters is how you fight. I think we'll do this one. This one's a little... The chaotic options border on just, like, kind of inconsiderate a lot of the times. The lawful options are annoying. So we're gonna do this one. Now you're talking sense. Well, you can trust my sword. Is fighting demons all you want, or are you looking for something more? How about covering myself in glory and becoming a hero in 100 ballads? Or at least a dozen if they're lively ones. Seelah's eyes shine cheerfully. To be more serious, the area around the World Wound is the best place for a paladin who wishes to defend the weak and serve good. Being part of the crusade is reward enough to me, but there's something that worries me. I don't want to sound like I'm criticizing my brothers in arms, but the Eagle Watch and the other orders are focused on just one aim, the war against the World Wound. But that's why they can sometimes overlook the smaller things, ordinary misfortunes, you know? I always liked being a wandering knight because any moment I could go up and help poor rat folk whose family had been kidnapped, or an old woman whose favorite dog had gone missing. So here's my answer. I don't have some big important goal, but I'll be happy to help those who need it, a little bit here and a little bit there. Alright, we'll say thank you for speaking with me. Until next time. I love Seelah. Okay, let's save. Alright, so we've got a lot of stuff to do in the next part. We're obviously not going to do all of it in the next part, but we've got a lot of stuff to start. So first, we're going to talk to Lan and Camellia. Then we've got to talk to Horgus. He's got to pay us. He owes us like $1,000. Next, we need to eventually scout the Tower of Estrad. We need to find the Storyteller, find the secret entrance to the Great Garrison. Oh no, we did that. Did we? No. We have to find the Storyteller. So we have to go to the library. We have to gather allies from the for the attack on the Grey Garrison. So we have to walk around, find some other people. We have to come back in a timely manner so that the tavern doesn't get attacked while we're gone. And we have to look for Janna. So, yeah, we got a lot accomplished this part. So I think we're going to leave it there. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next part.